What's up, believers? Welcome to Make Us Believe, a wrestling podcast by fans for fans. I am one of your hosts, Michael,
And I'm your other host, John.
and we are coming at you with a first for the show. No surprise, because obviously we have not been here before, but this is the first episode of season 2. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a second season. John, what do you think of
Welcome.
that, man? Like we we
Hey, I,
we we lasted a whole season, dude.
I like it. Many more to come. And believers out there, appreciate you joining us, sticking with us, and we're gonna have some fun for season two.
Hell yeah, we are. Okay, so we're coming in. It's the week after WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania happened this past weekend. We've had Raw, we haven't had SmackDown yet. That's kind of we're in the middle there. I don't know. Just an overall vibe. How what do you think of WrestleMania? Just like kind of in a a sentence or two.
I will say it was underwhelming, which was expected. So I guess you could say it met my expectations. Um, I thought my biggest takeaway, honestly, was it wasn't. I've seen worse shows, not what I wanted out of a WrestleMania though. And oh my gosh, the ad. My goodness.
Yeah, dude. Why are there so many ads in WrestleMania? That's what I want to know, man. Like,
Is
it's
nothing sacred
WrestleMania.
anymore? And
Yeah,
that's what bothers me.
seriously.
All right, so now we have them even on the turnbuckles. We got ads, and then we have
Yep.
like so much ad time that I haven't done the math, but I would guess at least for night one, there might have been more ad time than match time. It's just like, okay, well we're paying, like if you're a loyal fan, you're paying for at least two subscriptions to watch this product, and
Yep.
now we have to be bombarded with ads on top of it. Like unless you like back in the day when you were just a la carte like pay-per-views, you were probably spending way less than you're spending now because you have to have Netflix, you got to have ESPN Plus, you got to have something that you could watch SmackDown on. So that's like I'm not saying you're paying for whatever that is specific or any of these specifically for wrestling, but there's a decent chance you are. So you're paying more than you ever have before, and you have more ads than you've ever had before, and it's annoying.
Yeah. I remember watching WrestleManias and stuff on the pay-per-view or on pay-per-view before. And yeah, like you would get some ads, like don't get me wrong, but the vast majority of them were stuff like go to the
Yeah,
WWF store and get your limited edition WrestleMania 26 bomber jacket or some shit like that. It was never like, and this ring brought to you by Dodge, Ram,
yeah,
and Prime, enter whatever drink that is, and freaking whatever else is on the turnbuckles, and the season in Riyadh and off in the corner. And then on top of that, you're selling ring space to the fans. So the fans get a chance to spend upwards of $1,500. That was the minimum. I looked at that for all those names on the canvas. One spot was $1,500 starting, and then you get a cutout with your name at the end of it with a plaque.
dude, they had
So
that
it's like,
one guy come to the commentating table for a match who didn't say a single word. Like
yeah,
everything is for sale now. It's absurd.
it's
I hate it.
insane.
But yeah, like I said, just not what I wanted out of a Mania. I was hoping that there'd be like some shocker things that went down that would, kind of ease our way through it, but not the case. No big
No,
surprises. Mass show overall.
yeah, I have that. Yeah, I just one sentence. WrestleMania was mid. Like
Mid, yeah,
that was
yeah,
it. Like it had moments that made it so it was bearable,
sure.
but it was legit mid. I didn't need to see it, which is shitty.
Yeah, I
Like
think
I
the
could
big
have
thing
done
is
the
it's
raw recap and be like, "Oh, well, I'm sad I missed like 2 or 3 matches in it, but overall, that was enough." Like
yeah,
I and I
yeah.
was
I
like,
was
again, TKO, for the love of God, we're wrestling fans. I understand you do this for boxing. I understand they do this you do this for the UFC, and I get it that it works there and whatever and stuff. We're wrestling fans. We don't give two flying fucks about what celebrities are in attendance. And we
Not
definitely
in the
don't
least.
care enough for you guys to spend like 17 plus minutes or whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but that's what it felt like.
Mhm.
Of WrestleMania, which is the show of shows for us, spend that much time on showing us who's in the audience. What was it like the freaking Rick Rubin or whatever, like the audio, like the music producer guy or whatever? Sure, great work, fantastic guy in his field, super get that. I don't give two fucks about him being in the audience because what does he have to do with wrestling? It makes no sense.
Yeah. The only one I kind of enjoyed was Kittle chugging beers on both shows, both nights, like throughout the show. That was kind of funny and fun.
That was
Uh,
funny.
yeah, but outside of that, which obviously I didn't need that, but I
Yeah.
found that somewhat enjoyable. But that's it. Other than that, like nothing I could give any fucks about.
Yeah, it just wasn't good. And uh, I don't know. I know it's not changing anytime soon. They don't care what we say. They don't care what the majority of people say or whatever. They're still going to cut to the celebrities to try and give it this, I don't know, give it some kind of shine or something like, look how popular we are. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
wrestling. You're WWE. You don't need a popularity contest. Showing us freaking Jennifer Aniston in the crowd or whatever the crap isn't going
yeah,
to make more people watch. So,
not at all.
I mean, it's learn your audience, man. Just come on,
Mhm.
guys. All right,
Ah,
so let's get into WrestleMania then. Like realistically, we have the results, and then we have our predictions. We can go over our predictions, see how we did.
mhm.
Um, but yeah,
Oh,
so
good call. I forgot to go down the prediction line. I'm glad you did that.
actually, yeah. All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna start with the computer, aka the PS5, located in my living room. But the computer had, for night one, it had Jacob Fatu beating Drew McIntyre. It had the Usos and LA Knight beating the Vision and IShow Speed. It picked the Bella Twins to win the world title or the tag titles. It picked Becky Lynch to beat AJ Lee. It picked Seth Rollins to beat Gunther. It picked Liv Morgan to beat Stephanie, and it picked Cody Rhodes to beat Randy Orton.
Final
Of those,
score?
final score is 9, or
Okay, that's pretty.
9 total. Sorry, for night one it was
Oh, gotcha.
6.
Pretty dang
So it
good.
picked 6 out of 7. So the computer was pretty damn spot on. Um,
It almost makes you wonder if that's what they did over at
yeah,
TKO.
right. That's what booking is just doing. They're just
Yep.
throwing on the W 2K26 and just, well, that sounds good to us. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
And then for night two, it had Penta retaining the IC title in that ladder match. It
Mhm.
had Oba Femi beating Brock. It had Sami Zayn retaining over the US title over Trick Williams.
Mhm.
It had the Demon beating Dom, which was, not only do we get the Demon, but now you're just gonna make it a street fight at the last minute. I don't understand that either. But
Yep.
okay, like we didn't need any of that. Like, but anyway, different
No.
rant. It had Jade Cargill retaining the title over Rhea, and it had CM Punk retaining over Roman. So
Okay.
for night two, it went 3 for 6 for a grand total of 9.
Not bad. Not bad.
No, it was not bad. It was not bad considering it's like, 9 out of 13. That's a solid bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, shall we get into our predictions then?
Let us.
All right. John, for night one, you picked the Usos and LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, the Bellas.
What
You picked eight.
what are we yeah, we're counting that as a dub, right? Kinda?
What I'm gonna get into this.
Okay. Half
So
credit.
AJ, yep. You picked AJ Lee, Gunther, Stephanie, and Randy. Those were your picks for night one. For night two, you said Brock, Rusev, Rhea, Finn, Trick, and CM Punk.
Whew,
Overall
whew.
score of 7.
Okay. Could have been
So it's
worse.
still over half, right? Um, and then myself, I picked the Usos and LA Knight, Jacob. I picked Nia Jackson Lash, so that backfired on me.
Yeah.
I picked Becky. Um, oh, actually, no. You know what? No, Oh yeah, you did pick Gunther. I apologize. I'm looking at the list and I rewrote this after going back and listening to the podcast just to be sure. And now I second guessed myself, like looking at the list. So my bad. I also picked Gunther. I picked Liv and Randy, and then for night two, I had Oba, Penta, Rhea, Finn, Trick, and CM Punk, for a grand total of 10.
All right. All right. Well, congrats
Yeah,
to the winner.
thank you, sir. Yeah, what do we think of this stuff, man? Like, the Usos and LA Knight it pretty much went the way that I would imagine it would go.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I show's splash was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. For
It
someone
was
who's
it
not a
was a decent
wrestler,
spot.
it was a decent spot. Uh, Credit to Paul for for Logan Paul for taking it like a
Hmm.
champ. Um, which says more about Logan Paul, I think, than anything else in that is the fact of like, hey, he's willing to take these spots, which is he's letting a nobody, he's letting a YouTuber go on, and I understand what I'm saying there. I Don't at me, people. Okay, I understand who Logan Paul is and what Logan Paul is. But the fact of the matter is that as of this moment right now, Logan Paul has dedicated himself to being a WWE superstar. So therefore, Logan Paul is a WWE superstar. I cannot, in good conscience, say that he's a streamer or a YouTuber before he's a wrestler.
I was just about to say, do you know what Logan Paul is to me?
But
Champion WWE.
he is a champion in WWE. He's a tag champion.
No, I've said it before, he's won me over big time. Like I'm in on Logan Paul. I accept him as a full-fledged wrestler. I didn't
Yeah.
want to, I was resistant. I have probably the same feelings as many do when he
Yep.
came in. But yeah, he's a natural. He's better in the ring and better on the mic than 80 at least percent of these guys, which I'm not even knocking most of these guys. He's just a total natural. And he's good. He's good at this. It's kind of undeniable.
Yeah. And I'm like, look, I get it, but I'm essentially putting him in the same category of like he found a loophole in the system, like
Well, yeah.
around even and around even the NIL, because the NIL people like Oba and like Sol Ruka and stuff like that, that didn't spend tons of time in the indies to get up to
Yeah.
this level, but they're just like standout college or whatever athletes, and they get bumped in and just get to, come to the performance center. They still have to prove themselves to get on TV and stuff, right? Like they still have to
Yeah.
prove themselves to get called up and everything, and prove
I
that not only are they a good athlete, but they're good for this. So it was the same thing for Trick. You know, we're not yelling at Trick Williams for being next in line and being a US champion right now,
yeah,
right?
good
Like,
is good.
because he didn't spend years in the industry. That's fine. Logan didn't either. Logan got in because he was a streamer and he was popular. He decided to dedicate himself to this and became a wrestler.
He's kind of a more
Fine.
modern version of the Miz. Like the Miz got famous
Ah,
off Real World and the Challenge. And I'm not saying
yep.
I know he had to do like some stuff at like Independence, to kind of learn, but like for the most part, he fast tracked himself with his, um celebrity status, like which he got
Yeah.
through reality shows. So like it's
He's
just
one of
a
the
more
greatest of
modern
all
version of
time.
that. He's a future Hall of Famer without a doubt.
He is. He absolutely is. Like,
Yeah.
I love The Miz. I love that dude.
The
He's
Miz is
he's great.
awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, much like you, John, Logan has won me over. Not in the fact of like, yeah, I still hate him. Like, I still don't like the guy.
But
He's
that's a good
not a good
heel.
person.
It's not
Yeah,
go
he's
home
not a good
heat.
person. It's
It's
not
good
about
heat. Yeah.
exactly. It's like it's natural heat. I stand by the fact I don't think that his character is ever going to be able to evolve past that. Like and eventually it's going to bite him in the ass. Like they're not going to be able to do anything creatively with him because he's just always going to be a hated YouTube streamer, little shit that popped into the industry. That's how the like all of us are always going to see him, and that's never
That's
going to change. In my
that's kind
opinion,
of how
I
the
don't.
Miz is
I
too. The Miz has been a heel like 90% of his career, and it's worked.
Yeah, but I don't know if Logan Paul has the ability to become a face. Is my point. Like Miz at least
Yeah,
can and has. I don't know if the fans base will ever accept Logan Paul as a face, regardless of how he acts or is booked or whatever. So I don't know
well,
if that's actually possible for him.
not in the near future, but you know what? Right now it's working, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's kicking ass on there, like you said, in the ring, on the mic. He's doing great stuff in the vision. Like I'm a fan. I don't know where it goes from here and whatever. But regardless, he was willing as a superstar to lay there on the table and take that bump from Aisho, who is a total outsider, to for the sake of the show, which does say something to him being willing to, he's willing to go, you know, boots up
Oh,
when he
absolutely.
needs to. So, and that's a mark. He's not above
Mhm.
he's not above putting himself on the line for the sake of the story. Like he's willing to play the game. And that's a mark of, like being an actual wrestler to me. You have to be willing to go with the story and to sell it. And he's willing to do that. So,
Yeah.
hats off to him for taking that. Um yeah, overall yeah, like I said, aside from that spot, like what did we really have out of that? Like
Yeah, I mean, for this match specifically or the event as a whole?
I mean, well, for the event as a whole, but I mean, like for that match specifically, like there just wasn't really much there.
No, no, it was kind of a gimmicky spot to, get ISHO speed some, some moments, which it did. It served its purpose. It was a nothing match.
It,
Like most of the event, it was mostly forgettable with some fun spots and other matches, but yeah. I mean, it kind of just was what it was.
yeah. Okay, so we have the Bellas. Let's talk about that, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna skip around a little bit, and I'm really only gonna talk about the stuff that was major, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Because we are
Yeah.
a little pressed for time today. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Bella twins did not compete. However, I am giving you the point because their team did win.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So as we all saw, if you didn't and you don't know by now, Paige is back. At least she was for that match, and I would assume at least one more because she has to defend the title.
Right.
Um, her and Brie Bella are now the new tag champions. Um, and yeah, I don't like it. I don't think we needed Paige back. I don't necessarily feel great about her wrestling because her neck issues and stuff, but um, if she feels healthy and medical says she is healthy enough, then cool. I
Yeah. I
don't know
mean,
why we're bringing in women wrestlers from the Divas era. Why are we doing that?
yeah,
That's
she
my
she is
question.
a former Divas champ, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think she was the youngest,
Yeah, yeah,
actually.
correct. I so I'm probably in the minority here. I never really cared about Paige. I never thought she really had any charisma or a good character for me to get into. I am happy for her. She kind of falls into the Debray Edge category of they were told they'd never wrestle again. They
Yeah,
rehabbed enough to where they were able to. Obviously, a huge moment for her. She got to come back at WrestleMania, win a championship. Like that's awesome. Super happy for her. But yeah, kind of like you, I don't really care personally as a fan. Um, Paige, and as we mentioned, probably ad nauseum at this point, and the Bellas aren't really my cup of tea. If they're yours, good for you, but I don't give a shit. But yeah, I mean, we kind of knew that we weren't going to care about this match anyway. I will say Paige returning made it more interesting, and like I said, I am happy for her. So it was a little bit better than I expected because of that. But overall, yeah, still nothing that I really found significant enough to be a memorable thing for me.
yeah. Um, so yeah, like nothing else was really like super I don't know, guys. It was mid, right? Like it just was. Like, okay, Becky won. Kind of saw that coming. Uh Gunther won. We both literally said what was gonna happen, right? Breaker was gonna show up, spear Seth, and hand the win to Gunther, which is literally what happened. So
Yeah.
we got Breaker back. That's great, I guess. Um
Yeah. Yeah.
Cody kind of teases a heel bit a little. Um
But yeah, I don't know because he got his ass kicked at the end of the match too. So I don't really know how
yeah,
you do that at this point.
I don't I thought it was like, oh cool, we're gonna get a cool double turn thing, and then no, not so much.
That was a
Um
confusing match. I didn't really understand why Randy RKO'd Pat. I mean, I guess
yeah,
that it was a slow count. So I guess like if I had to kayfabe it up, that's why he did it. Because otherwise it really doesn't make sense. And now Pat can't ever come to WWE again, which is an interesting thing. The only thing
yeah,
about that match that was really notable for me was that I would have bet the mortgage that Orton was winning it. So that was surprising to me.
same,
But
yeah.
yeah, the match itself was nothing special. Pat
No,
actually
and
was entertaining in the match, but other than that, yeah, like Pat shouldn't be the most interesting part of that match, and he actually was to me.
yeah. Literally the only other thing that was like super surprising for me was Brock apparently retiring.
Yeah,
Like
yes.
that
So
everything else was pretty much down the way that we called it, or discussed about it and stuff, you know, like everything else was nothing was surprising or jaw-dropping or whatever. Um
yeah, I was not expecting that either. As again, I've made this clear on the show. I'm a mark for Brock. I get it. He's older. He doesn't really show up that much anyway. It makes sense, but that was kind of a bummer for me. But it was a nice moment with him and Heyman. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I didn't think that I didn't think he had to put Oba that far over because it's almost like I don't know what they do with Oba now. Like Oba got all the licks in leading up to their match, and then I mean he
He
beat him pretty
basically
quickly.
dominated.
Yeah, he beat him
Yeah.
pretty quickly, and he no sold in F5. Like, what do you do with this guy now? Like, unless he wins the world championship right now and holds it forever, like what was that? Like it was a little too much. I think you could have had a more competitive match with Oba still going over. I would have liked that more. But that's really my only note of it. Again,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like, what is aside from sending Oba to, Roman, what do you do? And then is that at that point, did you really just make Roman Reigns a transitional champion? Like, kind of
yeah,
thing. Like, because he's not going to go after Cody's belt. It's not even
no,
the same
no,
show or whatever, So he's going to have to go after Roman. What the hell, like kind of thing. There's a lot of questions there. I'm interested to see what happens. As we know, I love Oba, but yeah, it was very weird. Um,
yeah,
yeah. So moving on, like I said, this is going to be a little fast paced, guys. Sorry about this if it feels disjointed and stuff. We'll make it up to you later, I promise. Raw was a little interesting. Like we got Ethan Page, saw it coming, was wondering when it was going to happen, but we got him.
yeah,
He's
which
on
I'm happy
Raw.
about.
Yeah, I am too. Like I'm stoked about this. Ethan Page is fantastic.
But I'm
Um,
afraid I'm a little bit scared of it too, though. Let me just say, like, because I could see him getting lost in the sauce. Like, what I'd like them to do is probably strap the IC belt to him pretty quick. That way, he makes a quick impact. I just don't want to see him get lost in the sauce because I do like Ethan Page.
yeah. My only worry with that is if he moves up in the ladder, he's gonna bump Javon down,
Yeah.
and I don't necessarily want that to happen either. So I don't know what to do here. I'm just excited, I guess
Mhm.
is what I'm trying to get at, but I'm worried too. I don't want him to get lost. I don't want Javon to get lost. Um, but it's like, yeah, if there's one title, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we got Sol Ruka show up and then get beat. And then I know she did have a match on Tuesday against Zarya. I don't know what happened in that. But on NXT. So I don't know if she was officially getting called up or if that was like the teaser call up for her
It's
because,
the it's the
she
Raw after Mania, so I think it was a real call up.
Okay. So maybe she went
I'm
down to
guessing. I'm
NXT, like
guessing.
trying to like, yeah. So
Unfinished
I
business kind
don't,
of thing. Yeah.
yeah, kind of thing, and then come back. If she did, she lost it in her debut, and I understand it was to live, but also, like
Yeah.
kind of,
Put her in
I
a
don't
match
know.
where she's gonna win.
Yeah. Uh, and then we got the Cody CM Punk tease, which was interesting,
It was
but
interesting.
oh, and then the main event for Backlash. Like that's not gonna happen. Like
Right.
I don't think Jacob's gonna win, but I really want to watch that match.
Yeah, so this is my prediction. They kind of teased it, but not officially, is that, when Roman said, if you lose, you have to acknowledge me. I'm kind of taking that as he's going to have to join them because it looks like the Usos are going to be back with him. And this is
Yeah,
kind of what we were talking about before, where like maybe they start reforming the bloodline. And I
yeah.
think that Jacob basically like be the champion or join me. Like I think that that makes sense. And I'm here for it, honestly. I think that that's good.
I just hope that it's not the an NWO 2.0 situation, kind of
Yeah,
thing. It's like
yeah.
you're trying to reinvent the bloodline that was so good and stuff, and it's gonna end up coming off cheesy and shitty. And are we
That's what
getting
the
Roman's gonna
MFTs are to me.
retain? Yeah, exactly. And I don't want that to be in the actual bloodline.
Yeah,
Also, I don't want the bloodline to be the sole reason that Roman retains the belt. I want
yeah,
Roman to be a fucking beast. Let him be a fucking beast. Just let him be a beast with his
yeah,
crew backing him up, not his crew the reason that he's a beast. Like,
yeah, yeah.
you have a second chance, creative, fix it. That's all I'm saying. Do it right.
Yep, yep. I hear you. Yeah. Really, no notes on Raw. I'll
Yeah,
just. I had a few notes on Mania. I'll just shoot through really quick. So,
cool.
um, night one, um, again, nothing special. Night two was better. Night one, obviously Bianca Belair revealing her baby bump. Like that was cool because at first when she came out, I was like, "What the fuck? Where's the hair at?" Like that was the first thing I thought.
Yeah,
Yep, and it,
exactly. I was like,
yep,
where's the braid?
yeah. I was very upset. I was like, "What the fuck is this? She's coming back now, and she's not gonna have this." And then she revealed the baby bump, and I was like, "Ah, what a nice moment to like, share that with the WWE universe. Totally fine." Um, so two best matches of night one were honestly Becky and AJ Lee and Seth versus Gunther.
Yeah,
Good, but
I
good, but
agree.
not great is what I would say. And then we've already kind of touched on, but Cody versus Randy, nothing special. Pat was the best part of it, and Pat absolutely should not have been the best part of it, but he was. So I'll note that. Night two, more memorable, but still nothing super special. Brock versus Oba, we've already touched on that. Finn, full demon mode versus Dominic was pretty good. I didn't mind it. I agree. Like, you kind of took a little liberties there, which I didn't think was necessary either. But
Yeah, like why did we make that a street fight? I don't
yeah,
understand why it needed to be a street fight, but whatever.
yeah,
I will say the coup de grace through the table is pretty badass finish for that.
yeah.
Um,
It was.
but but we didn't need a street fight for that. Like we just didn't.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree. And then Danhausen segment didn't disappoint. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-mm.
He's over the top cartoonish, but I am
I
so for it.
I fucking love Dan. I did not
Yeah.
understand who Danhausen was when they premiered him, right? When they
Oh
debuted him.
yeah, he
He
was in
comes out of the
AEW.
box, he gets booed. I saw him a couple times in AEW and I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't really care. Now
Yeah,
that he's here and actually doing this stuff backstage, I'm like, holy shit, this is like our truth level stuff. I'm for it. I like we don't
yeah.
have this enough in WWE. Granted, you don't want the 80s cartoony stuff anymore, right?
But
But
there's a
you don't
there's
want to
there's
get
a
rid
there's
of
a
it
time and a
altogether.
place. Yeah, yeah. Like if it's
Exactly.
done right, it's good, and this was done right. Also, Danhausen
Yes.
is a fellow Detroiter, so I tip my cap
Oh,
to him.
hey, there you
Yeah,
go. Hats off. Hats off.
yep. And then
I do love the Motor City.
yeah,
I'm a fan. So
uh, outstanding. And then Punk versus Roman was actually the best match of the whole event. I really had no issue with that at all.
no.
I thought it was a great match. But that's the thing is it's a 2 night event, and that's like the only great match I would say. But that was
Yeah.
very good.
No,
Overall,
I'm really happy with that too, because that was a solid main event. And that
Yeah.
means that Punk got his solid main event. Like
Yep.
he got it finally. I would have
Yep.
loved to see him come out on top, but that was a solid main event. It was a really good match. Hats off to both.
Yeah, totally agree. But yeah, there's some fun spots in the other matches, but overall pretty forgettable. It's just overall like this event was, and I might have already said this, but this event wasn't terrible. It's just for WrestleMania, you expect so much more, so much better. And then the ads were just a slap in the face, like we mentioned before. But um, yeah, but it kind of is what it is. We're moving on. I guess I don't know if we have time for this, but I was going to ask you, who you thought might get future endeavor because this is usually the time where they do it after WrestleMania.
And you know what? We can talk about this. I was going to do power rankings, but let's talk about this instead because we can do power rankings next time.
Okay.
Essentially, my power rankings were the winners of of WrestleMania, most of them,
Yeah.
with the inclusion of Ethan Page because he got called up, and honorable mention to Danhausen because that dude is fucking hilarious, and I
You know,
love
I'm
him.
I'm just going to rattle mine off really quick. Okay. Roman,
Cool, go.
Cody, Punk, Orton, Danhausen. So I had Danhausen at 5.
Right
For
on.
the women, and again, like kind of like last week, I'm not thrilled about it, but women, I got Liv, Becky, Rhea, Stephanie, and Jade.
Dude, your four are my four. Your
That's
top four are
awesome.
my four. The only the five is Paige. I put Paige as
Oh,
five.
you know what?
That's
You know
the
what? Actually,
only
I could
difference.
I could deal to that. I just couldn't think of anybody else, and I was like, well, she's just coming off the champ. She'll probably have some clapback. But yeah, I will replace her with Paige because that
There you
is
go.
that is the right move. That is actually the
Yeah,
right move.
for honorable mention, I had Sol Ruka just because she debuted, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, literally the same list. For my men, I had going from 1 to 5, I had Oba, Trick, Roman, Ethan Page, Jacob, and then honorable mention is Danhausen. So
They
that was that.
no issue.
So
No issue.
future
All right.
endeavored.
Because I got some ideas too.
All right, hit me.
Okay. All right. So I don't like this one, but I just don't see why you keep him. I had so much hope for him when he was coming in, but now he really is lost in the sauce, and that's Grayson Waller. As much as we both love the New Day, they're kind of dead in the water right now. I hope it doesn't stay like that, but right now they are. So you threw him in a faction that wasn't doing anything, and now he's essentially just like their bitch boy, and like you're not even on TV that much anymore. It's almost like him and Austin Theory were a tag team, and they both chose a faction to go to. And Austin Theory just picked one that's hot and rolling. And in Theory, unfortunately, picked the wrong one at this time. But yeah, I'd be surprised. I mean Grayson Waller. I don't see Grayson Waller keeping a job. I hope he does because I still do think he's got a ton of potential. But it doesn't really make sense to keep him if you're not going to do anything with him. And then
Yeah,
after that, um, everybody in the Wyatt Six. I think we could say this is a failed experiment.
Everybody in the
Everybody,
Wired Six.
everybody, just get rid of all of them. The tribute's been paid. It didn't pan out the way you thought. It was a nice sentiment. I think we were all here for it, especially when they debuted, which was an awesome debut. It ain't working. It's been a few years, it feels like at this point. Let's ditch it. Like whatever. Anyway, and then I have most of the MFTs. So I will say, get rid of the Gorillas of Destiny. Well, I mean, I guess you maybe keep Tamatonga, but Tonga Loa and Tala Tonga, you get rid of them. And as much as I
Yeah,
liked him in the Indies or Ring of Honor, New Japan, stuff like that, Lucha Underground, Jeff Cobb or JC Mateo, like you get rid of him too. Like so, 3 of the guys from the MFTs, all of the Wyatt Six, and sadly Grayson Waller I have on my endangerment of future endeavors. The future
I
endeavor
think
watch list.
I think that is a very solid list.
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna say Otis and what's it, Tozawa.
Tozawa. Yeah, you could
Yeah,
ask them for sure.
you could probably X them because I mean, what the hell is this going on with? I agree with everything you said. This is
Yeah.
difference. Pete Dunne, I think he's in NXT, but I don't.
Well, Pete Dunne is allegedly. one of the luchadors with El Grande.
There's no freaking way that Pete Dunne's ass is Rayo or Bravo.
Yeah, that's the word on the street.
Those motherfuckers are not big enough to be Pete Dunne.
Him and what's his name? Tyler Bates. Uh yeah, I think
That's who
that
they
they're
have. That's who they have.
yeah. Yeah, well, that's the word. That's the rumors.
All right. Well,
But you could still probably which just sucks because like a lot of people haven't seen it and I understand why, but the very first WWE UK title match was between Tyler and Pete Dunne. And I'm not exaggerating or being dramatic when I say it's one of the best matches I've ever watched in my life. And it's just they didn't do anything with these guys when they called them up. And it kind of is what it is. It's kind of like a Grayson Waller thing. Like you love them, you wanted to see him do well. It didn't work out. I could see them getting axed too.
yeah, that's fair. Honestly, yeah, no, okay. Looking at this, I could say Rayo and Bravo. I could because I'm like this is stupid, but also Grande Americano versus original Grande Americano is still a thing, and therefore Rayo and Bravo still have a place, even though they're ineffective as hell.
Okay.
So,
I'll allow it
yeah, I
because I
want to put
do
him
like
down, but
them.
I'm
Yeah.
not going. I'm not gonna actually say it, even though I want to say it. I'm not gonna say
I
that.
have no issue. I have no issue with that.
Um, Mitchin and BFAB, I will say that.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
what the
I
fuck is
think
going on
yeah,
there? Like,
yeah. Even though they just joined this new Jade faction, like who gives a fuck, right? Like,
exactly, exactly. Like, if you're
yeah,
trying to save money, like, or whatever, or make room, like, that's honestly a way that you could go. Um, Josh Briggs from NXT. That you could just drop him. Like they have done nothing with him. He's essentially a big scary version of Kit Wilson as far as you like ring usefulness goes as with how he's being booked.
kind of.
It's just loss after loss after loss and I'm just like, "Nah, just he can go."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, man, because there's so many people that they don't use, but then also like is that just because you don't use them, does that mean that you're not that you should get rid of them?
Well, I mean,
Kind of,
obviously, you
like
you need every tier of wrestler, right? You need the lower, you need the
yeah,
mid, you need the main eventers. But if you're not using them, you're not using them. You know, like Kit Williams at least is getting used. You know, he's obviously the lowest card you can get, and he's basically the new Heath Slater, but he's getting used. He's serving a
yeah,
purpose.
he's still on TV.
Yeah.
You know,
So
he goes out there and gets his ass beat, but he's still on TV.
yeah, I don't know how long his lifespan is going to be in WWE, but right now I think he's safe.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know what they're gonna do with like Angel and Berto, but
Yeah.
also again, you don't want to get rid of too many tag teams because you need tag teams to job, right? Like so, and they do fit that bit. You know, they're an easy throw them in and let them lose.
Did they already get rid of Santos Escobar? Is he axed already? Because I haven't seen him in a while. Which
I
does suck because
think.
I really like him too, but they weren't doing shit with him either. I mean, just like any of these guys.
Let me see. I'm looking at the roster right now because I needed to double check because I'm like, yeah, like where the hell are like the I don't see Santos Escobar on the
Ah,
roster at all.
R.I.P. Man. He was another one. I just thought he had a ton of potential, and you just never seen it come to life on the main roster.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's they've I mean I'm not gonna lie, they've botched luchador teams and factions since the beginning of time. So
Yeah.
you know, like I get that. Um, yeah, yeah, dude, I don't know. This is it's hard. Like Apollo Cruz, He's
Oh yeah,
hanging out
yeah.
in the background and not doing anything,
Didn't even know
which
he
I'm
was
like,
still there. Absolutely connects that guy.
he is still there.
He's very talented in the ring, but he's another one I just never got into. He never developed a decent enough character to be interested in.
Exactly, yeah. I'm in that same boat. I loved watching him. He puts on fantastic matches, but
Phenomenal in
same
the ring.
thing. Yeah, phenomenal in the ring, but
He's got a good
the
build. He's got a
character
good
was never
look.
there.
That's
Yeah,
the only thing that was missing. Unfortunately, that's the biggest part of it.
yeah. And you can't be like, well, I forget what African country he was saying. Was it? It wasn't Nigeria, was it?
I don't
It
even
wasn't also
remember.
Nigeria. I don't remember, but I remember he was like, I'm going heel and this is how I actually talk now. And I think he
Yeah,
had almost there as his lieutenant or something for a little bit or whatever. And I'm just like, this did not go over well. And then
I
essentially, you still can't do that now because if it was Nigeria, you can't be the Nigerian ruler when you have Oba Femi there. Like,
no. Yeah, I mean that's just yeah. That didn't last long.
it didn't. It really didn't. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Because like Ray Phoenix and Dragon Lee still do stuff.
I
They're
haven't
still
really seen
solid.
Ray
Like
much lately.
I haven't seen Ray much lately. You're right.
Which is sad because Ray, I think, is a much better version of Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee's good, but Ray Phoenix is, and again, I'm sure I could get a lot of pushback on this, but to me, Ray Phoenix is like the best luchador I've ever seen.
Yeah. No,
But
I agree. Like that.
he doesn't get
Look,
any he
look.
doesn't get a lot of booking.
No, and him and Dragon Lee are phenomenal. Like watch Dragon Lee do a Hurricane Rana and then land on his feet.
Super
Like
talented.
who the fuck does that? Who
Yeah.
does a Hurricane Rana and lands on their feet? I was astounded. I was just like that kind of shit. He did what was it? The spiral suicide dive through the middle rope onto the table,
Yeah.
onto the
Yeah.
announce table. I'm like, yeah, sure. Braun Breaker can jump from the apron to the announce table. That dude did a freaking corkscrew suicide dive through the middle rope onto the announce table. Way more impressive in my opinion, but at me, I don't care. Shit that was bomb. I was entertained.
Yeah.
Um, how deep of cuts are we saying here? Like, are we going surface level or are we going hard?
However hard you want to go, dude.
Because the MFTs are pretty hard. Ilya Dragunov.
He's not. I don't think he's going to get cut. I. I feel like they're still trying with him, and he is talented. But I can
Yeah.
say like he's another one. Like I've never really been too into his character, but I think enough people like him to where they're going to at least attempt to see if he can get over. So, um, but yeah, I don't see them cutting him yet.
Okay. Uh, Ivy Nile.
You can cut
I
Ivy.
don't think she will, but if I was gonna put someone on a chopping block, like where I had to, she would be expendable in my opinion.
I mean, and I don't even know if the other American Made boys are still in there, but if they are, you can cut them too. When was the last time they were on TV? I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
the Creeds are still on here.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, if you don't, in my opinion, you have Chad back allegedly, like right, like okay, if we're breaking fourth wall here, guys, sorry, I know, whatever. Like we have El Grande America, like original back. Why not say that we have Chad back and do the start up with the American Made? Like
well,
Chad Gable
before
is
he was playing
he's
both
capable of
ends.
doing
Yeah,
multiple. He was doing multiple storylines
yeah,
as both characters. Why not just let him continue doing multiple storylines with both characters?
I
Then you
agree.
can bring the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile back into the spotlight and have them doing shit. But
That would
instead,
make
you're
sense.
not. So I don't know what their future is then, because if they're purposefully not doing that, then does that mean that they are setting up the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile for the chopping block because they figure the American Made thing just didn't work out? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. And honestly, I don't for better or worse, I don't know how much longer this El Grande thing could go on too. Like they could have probably had them have a match here. I'm not saying it necessarily had to be at Mania, but you probably could have done it by now. I mean, like they they met at the Rumble, like what how is this still going on? Is it even still going on? It, I don't really know what they're doing
Yeah.
with that either, but it makes me scared for both of them too.
Yeah. That's super fair. Um, yeah, so all right, so if this is a thing then, let's say that that's the thing and they're not going to bring back Chad Gable, right? Or at least not right now, and they're going to let that faction go away. Then what happens also to Ludwig? Are they
That's what
going
I'm
to
saying. I don't know.
is it possible to release Ludwig but keep El Grande Americano? Like I guess is what I'm asking. Like is that possible?
That's an interesting point. I don't know. I kayfabe,
Like
yeah, but
how deep do
yeah,
the contracts
yeah,
go? Like,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah.
Uh
Um, but I hope they don't. Like, because I think
yeah.
Ludwig is another one who has a lot of potential. I'd like to see him do more, but I don't know if we're gonna get it or not.
Yeah. Um yeah, I'm looking at this and there's like not much else. There's some people like Almost is on there still technically, but
Mm.
like when the fuck are they ever going to use Almost?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
that's it.
surprised. I can't even believe he's still on there, honestly.
Yeah, there's
Because
a lot of
seriously, when
people
was the
on
last
here
time you
that
seen
just
him?
literally don't. Yeah, they just have a bunch of people on here that you just don't see anymore. Um, I'm with you. All of the MFTs, all of the Wyatt Six for the most part, I could go with. Um,
They won't get rid of Solo, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, they won't get rid of Solo, but everybody else was like, cool. Maybe stop giving Solo fucking factions because he can't hang. I don't know.
nah, that was a failed experiment.
Yeah, twice. And
Hmm.
I would say that as much as this pains me, um, Alpha Academy can just go.
Yeah,
Like I
no,
would not be
they get,
sad if
yeah.
Akira. I mean, I love Otis, but what are you doing with him, man? You even took his money in the bank away from him. Like you
Yeah,
took it
yeah.
away from him. So it's like, what are you doing here, man? You're not giving him more tag titles with him and Tozawa. You're not giving him singles stuff going on.
You took away
It's just
Tucky.
yeah, you took away Tucky. Like it's you got nothing. I don't see anything for them. Maxine, as she's in the low point right now, but she's still there and viable. I would say you keep her,
She's
especially
more
with
relevant
with
than
the
she's
Natty.
ever been. Like because
Exactly, and she has the feud
yeah,
built in with Natty. You
yeah.
know,
I'm not saying she's got a long life, but because she's more relevant than she's ever been. Because before this, she was just somebody who is hot, and she is
yeah,
hot, but that's not enough anymore. She's actually
no,
starting to step up a little bit. I don't think it's going to last, but I think she'll be safe for now.
yeah, yeah. So I would say that she's safe for that bit, but not, you know, not necessarily uh free and clear. I'm not going to say that she is on the chopping block now, but I will say that Akira and Otis are. And then what does that do to her faction and stuff like that? So I don't know about her future. I don't think she'll get future endeavored, but I would not be surprised if Tozawa and Otis did.
Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate, but it is kind of writings on the wall there. I like we've been saying, I just don't really know what their purpose is anymore. We
Yeah.
enjoyed them, we had some nice memories. We can appreciate them and still think that they don't serve a purpose here anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Um so yeah, I mean aside from getting into like NXT and stuff like that, I think that's pretty much the list that I would put out there
Yeah, yeah,
for
that
main
is.
roster. Yeah, I mean you do. You have to cut people to make room for people. Like you just kind of do.
It
Or
is what it
expand
is,
out to more
man.
days, but then you're just making more content that you're forcing your people to consume. And that's a lot of wrestling. It gets to be a lot. So
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
It's just one of those unfortunate things, man. It is a business, and if you're going to better the business, then you better have a plan.
for sure. Um, yeah. Trying to think. Ran through all of that stuff. We got future endeavors. We got our power rankings technically out there. I think that's good.
Yep.
Good episode 1. We will have more in-depth stuff next time, guys. We're coming off of as you've heard, a very, very underwhelming WrestleMania, and actually an underwhelming Raw after WrestleMania, honestly. Like it
Yeah.
fit the
Nothing
vibe.
really big. Nothing super special. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, the
it is
crowd
what it
wasn't
is.
hijacking the show. There was no beach balls, no it was very subdued.
Best thing we could hope for is that WWE is going to get the message and they do something about it. They seem to be very profit focused now, but man, like eventually it's going to start hitting them in the paycheck when the fans stop watching. So
Yeah.
I think there's enough to turn the ship around pretty easily and fairly quickly. WrestleMania, of course, is a letdown, but I think there's still good potential here.
I think that their ticket sales are going to be a noticed bit because
Yeah,
like they noticed enough to include it into a storyline. Like
yeah,
they included it into the kayfabe storyline. So they notice. They know
yeah,
that shit they were getting blowback and they had to like WrestleMania wasn't sold out. You know, this
yeah.
wasn't even the biggest, like they say it was the biggest gate ever, but that had to be both days. Neither one of
No,
those
no,
both neither one of
but
those single days beat the highest gate count for, for a single day.
no,
So
even total, like because they were in Las Vegas last year, there were about 50,000 people less than they did in Vegas over the 2 nights last year.
yeah, exactly. So like they can see that these numbers are down. They can
Yeah.
see that people aren't going and that's costing them money. Like that's
Hmm.
overall, I would say those 50,000 are costing them more money than if they would have just done a normal price reduction in the tickets and made them reasonable. Because then you have
Yeah.
50,000 more people paying 100 or 200, you know, in those
Yeah.
spots. So like, yeah, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna figure it out. Hopefully they do something about it, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, eventually they will, I think. But yeah, right now, we've talked about it. They're in a little bit of a lull, but I do think that there's potential. There's enough good things to where you can make something good out of this.
Mhm. I just hope that they're smart enough to figure that out. That's
Hey,
all.
we can't stop believing, dude.
We can't stop believing. We will never stop believing.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So I think we'll call it there. We'll be back shortly, guys. I'm not gonna, we're not gonna put you on hold for like 2, 3 weeks or anything like that. We'll have another episode coming out soon. We'll cover, I guess, what our thoughts on our future storylines, right? Because we're building towards Backlash and
Yep.
starting to get some more stuff to open up. So hopefully even more will open up on, on SmackDown. And then next week on Raw and SmackDown, we'll get a clearer picture of some emerging storylines. So it'll
I
be good.
here's the hoping, and like I said, I they still got to make us believe, but I'm in for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna stop watching. I'm gonna keep believing. So,
Yep. Yep.
all right,
All we can do.
everyone, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day here at Make Us Believe. We appreciate you. We love you. As always, in the description, if you don't read it, is our email address. It's makeusbelievepodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. You can email us, whatever complaints, praise. If you just want to chat, we can do that. Um, Hit us up. I know on Spotify you can leave comments, YouTube you can leave comments. Don't and be sure to like and subscribe and follow and all of that fun stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, we just overall we appreciate you listening. So yeah,
Absolutely.
for us here at Make Us Believe, I'm Michael.
I'm John.
Don't stop believing, guys.